Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning. All right, so it's the moment of truth. I got a new computer, and we're gonna see if the lag is better. So far, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks decent. Everything is running pretty smoothly, and now my dog is barking. But yeah, it looks pretty good so far. I'm not going to lie. Let me put my Discord out here too. Hold on one second. Whoa, why is it not showing? Okay, there we go. Guys, let me know if you can see my screen, by the way. Let me tell the Discord that I'm live 1 second, guys. All right, so we're officially trading into this daily volume imbalance. I don't know if you guys can see this here, but there's a tiny volume imbalance right here that I'm going to label as a daily VI. Where's my box here? Sorry, guys, I know this isn't appearing in the right spots because I just got this new computer. So we're going to label that daily VI. Let's go to the weekly and see where we are. So a standard pullback, obviously we are in this weekly bullish fair value gap. I'm going to label that as well as a weekly BISI. We also have a weekly volume imbalance down here that we could potentially be targeting, which we already traded into once, guys, which you can see obviously. But yeah, guys, let me know if the stream is clear. I think it's behaving better. Let me know if the size is okay. It should... I'm trying to see how this works. It should fill the screen entirely. I don't know if it is or isn't. It should be, though. But anyways. We are filling the weekly BISI here. You can see we have a volume imbalance that we traded down into. We have two sets of ordered blocks, almost three, basically. So all these things are going to act in conjunction to each other. We are technically rejecting from this daily fair value gap. You can see also we came down to, we came to the 50% level of the leg, which was actually right here. So we pushed quite a bit above it. And then we also traded to the 50% of the daily fair value gap, and then we rejected from it. So it's a pretty tough spot to be in, just in general. By the way, guys, just let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me properly. This is a brand new computer with a ton more RAM, so this should be a much better experience if you guys are in the Discord and in the live stream. But so far, guys, it looks like we're going to be aiming for this sell-side liquidity here on the 4-hour chart. And then after that, I mean, nobody knows where we're going to go specifically, but I will be looking for a potential bullish reaction from this hourly and 4-hour sell side. Let me look at the hourly quick and see what we got. Yeah, so very big rejection there. I'm going to pull up NQ for you guys real quick so we can take a look and see if there's any equal highs. Wow, guys, I am so much more satisfied with this, the experience going on right now. This is so much smoother, so much more efficient. Okay, it looks like we have perfect equal highs here on the 1-minute chart. And then just, guys, pay attention if you see any others. There's a set right here. Okay. So much smoother, guys. Obviously, so this computer has 3 times the RAM of my previous one. So that's why we're getting a lot smoother movement here. This is so nice, guys. All right. So we have 2 sets of equal highs up here. Let me check the 5 minutes, see if there's anything I'm missing, if there's any equal highs here as well. If I pull this out in time, looks like we have perfect equal highs here as well. Or do they not quite hit? Okay, so they're not exactly equal highs. Let me look at a 1 minute here and see if there were a set anywhere. No, not really. So guys, this is always the first thing you guys should be doing, is look for equal highs on your chart, because these are a magnet for price, okay? They're super good. And what happens is the market tends to take liquidity and then it will reverse up to equal highs. And always use the NQ chart, don't use MNQ for this. I trade MNQ, especially for this funded account that I'm on right now, because I can only risk $200 a day on it. But always use NQ for your equal highs. You can see here, we have more equal highs that formed up here. So there's a ton of equal highs here, guys. Equal highs here, guys, that should get swept at some point in the future. And we're just using them as a target. So just checking one more time to see if there's any that I missed here. No, no. And then, of course, guys, if you go back to NQ from the previous contract, which is NQZ, there were a ton of equal highs up here. So I will label those just so that we have them. There were equal highs all the way at the top. In fact, let me pull it up really quick. If I go to the NQ chart here, and then we label this as NQZ, or NQZ 2024, and we hit enter, you guys can see all the equal highs that formed here on the hourly chart. So if I go to the hourly, I'm going to label them the same way. Okay. So right up here, oh, we already have them listed. Interesting. So why did they not show up on the 5 minute chart? Did they? Oh. Interesting. Okay, so they are showing up now. Oh, because I was on MNQ, right? No, okay. NQ. All right, guys, so again, there's all these equal highs here now. Oh, guys, I was looking. Sorry, I was on the 1 minute chart. My bad. Okay, that's why. So if we go up, you can see that there are equal highs at the very highs. So that is what we're going to ultimately be aiming for. But anyways, let's go back to the NQ chart here. Or the MNQ chart, sorry. I'm going to leave this to the side. But you can see, obviously, we have this ultimate draw on liquidity, and that's what I'm aiming for today. And then after that, I want to see a potential reversal. So that is where I'll be looking for longs. And then, obviously, we have all the equal highs that are actually in this area right here. So I'll just label them generally. I think there is an equal high right here. So ultimately, we're going to aim for potentially midnight and higher today after liquidity is swept. But at minimum, we want to see this hourly fair value gap get rebalanced. So pay attention to that, guys, too. I know, I'm sorry, it's been so long since I opened the stream up. We've been doing it privately. Or I've been considering doing it privately, but now that the new computer is here, I will be doing more live streams on YouTube. It uses a lot of RAM, so. Okay, so here is the first 3 minute inverse that I'm seeing here. It's actually not half bad. However, I wouldn't take this. And the reason I wouldn't take this is because we have such obvious sell side liquidity below. I'd rather see this swept first before seeing some kind of a long setup form. All right, so 3-minute has officially inversed. Now, in theory, guys, because the 3-minute has inversed, we should come up and sweep this buy-side liquidity. Now, again, I'm not interested in taking this trade. Even if I did, TP to the high would be 117 bucks on a 1 MNQ. That's wild. So obviously, we've had a huge move down today. Let's check how many points this was. If we shift from here, or if we shift from here. Oh, I have the magnet tool on. Sorry, guys, 1 second. If we shift from down here, we've had a what? A 400-point move? That is insane. You rarely see that, guys. A 443-tick move is wild. Yeah, I can see why there's so many points here now. Crazy. But yeah, in theory, you should expect now, obviously, Let me put the new week opening gaps back on the chart. Hold on 1 second, guys. Save this. It's here. So we are bouncing out of a new week opening gap as well on NQ. So we could potentially see a bounce from here, guys. But again, I'm not interested in taking it just because of how low we are and how likely we are to hit sell side first. And then once sell side hits, then I will consider looking for additional longs. Maybe to rebalance this 3-minute fair value gap right here. And then I'll make this a standard FVG. So once this liquidity gets swept, guys, if we get it on this leg, I will look for retracements up to this 3-minute fair value gap. And that will probably be my only trade on the day. TP on this on 1 MNQ will be around $150 from our entry, which will probably be somewhere up here, but maybe it'll be lower depending on what sets up here. It's crazy. I've been streaming for like 5 days, and algorithms are not pushing this content at all, which is pretty wild. But if you're in the stream, I don't know who's in here right now. I can't really see, but if you are in here, please like it. It helps the algorithm push it out to other people. Also on, interestingly enough, on NQ, so we're on MNQ right now, obviously, but on NQ, we actually have another new week opening gap. It's a little bit bigger than the one on MNQ, but it's right below the wick of this. So I'll show you guys right now really quick. So here's NQ. You can see that we have another new week opening gap right below where we stopped today, and then we have our obvious draw on liquidity here. So yeah. We also have a macro time, guys, coming up at 10:50, so keep that in mind. But yeah, in theory, like I said, because we inversed this 3-minute fair value gap, in theory, this should be used as a support and an order block that's formed to now take out this high, and it probably rebalance this 3-minute. On the 5-minute, we really have nothing. I would have preferred to see this set up this 3-minute form on the 5, but because we never got it, then there's nothing that I would really take here. 2-minute looks decent as well. But again, guys, this is the ultimate draw, and you can see it right here. It's the hourly sell side, so I want this first. Let me make this a little bit more translucent, guys. So I want this hourly sell side first, and then I will consider looking for longs. And you can see this volume imbalance on the daily that we drew right here, pairs up perfectly with the new week opening gap. And that oftentimes will happen. You'll see that gap form, and the new week opening gap forms at the same spot as that volume imbalance. But again, guys, I want to see the sell side liquidity get swept first and then get the long setup. That will be optimal to me. So we'll also be paying attention to potential equal highs forming on the 1 minute on NQ. So far, there is nothing, but when we do and if we do get them, I will let you guys know. So let's just go over some other stuff until sell side hits, guys. So also Bitcoin, not gonna lie, looks relatively bearish here. Looks like we're in an intraday sell program. You can see in the 4 hour we swept this buy side liquidity by just a few ticks. Now we're coming down. This in theory should act as support, but it looks too obvious for me. I would expect this sell side to get swept next. I want to look at TLT as well. This is something that I want to look to add for the long term here. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let me just keep an eye on an NQ here. But TLT is a 20-year Treasury bond ETF. So as the Fed starts to cut, we want to eventually see bond prices start to rally. Obviously, right now, bond yields are still shooting up. That sometimes happens is they'll try and fake traders out. And then once we sweep obvious liquidity or get near it, so like we did just now, this is like typically where the longs will really form. Now, we do have a weekly fair value gap below right here that we never tap back into. Now, we don't have to tap back into this, but it's definitely possible. So just keep this in mind, guys, that TLT I think is in an optimal spot to start longing, and I think the ultimate draw for this is going to be this 109 level, if not greater, maybe this 120 level. TLT and bonds are at a very, very, pretty much not an all-time low, but very close to it. And this is something that I want to eventually start adding. So we do have some adds. I took most of my position off at this buy side liquidity, and I'm looking to add back to my position here at this sell side. But ideally, I'd like to see the weekly fair value gap get touched first. I'm just going to add an alert here for this. And yeah, so look, guys, we're going to be getting our sell side sweep. So here's what I like, okay? Ultimately, I want this 3 minute and 5 minute to get touched. I would like to see the bottom of the 5 get touched. So what I will do, guys, if we get a nice 1 minute inverse here, I'll take that long back up to this buy side. This is where my stop to break even will go, and my full take profit will be here and here. So let's see what we get. Again, I would like to see the sell side swept first. There's no obvious IFEGs that have formed in this leg. So I need to see an obvious IFEG form, and then I will look to add. Okay, guys, so far, again, no IFEGs are forming in this leg, which tells me that price is likely to consolidate. It's probably not just going to make a full push here. It's probably going to generate low resistance liquidity and then take out the sell side. And once we get the sell side sweep, guys, I will be looking for that long up to this internal high right here. So this is the point where we just be patient. We don't do much. We're just going to sit and wait for the trade to present itself. Right? Patience is a virtue. So again, guys, there's nothing forming here. Like I said before, this is just low resistance liquidity. I think that's forming to sweep general liquidity on the hourly. And then once we do, that will be when I expect a reversal point personally. Advanced Wars bet question for you. I see TLT is practically at its 52-week low, and I don't get it. What is its APR? Okay, guys, so pretty much TLT is a 20-year treasury bond, so it holds 20-year treasuries. It pays dividends in the basically based on the treasuries that it has in its underlying. So with TLT, you're not going to see financials or anything here, obviously. But depending on what price the yields are at that they're purchasing at is what your dividend's going to be. So I believe with TLT right now, it's around 4%. I don't know if it will give it to me anywhere here. I don't think it would, but I can look it up for you guys. Give me a second. But Advanced Warfare, does that make sense, bro? AKA Mr. R. Okay, guys, so again, nothing is forming here. I wouldn't take this long, even though it's probably possible that we hit these two internal highs. I am waiting for a liquidity sweep of the hourly sell side. Again, comes from right here, and then once we get that, I'll look for the reversal. But obviously, we're getting this push here. This could be to be generating liquidity. It's possible that we don't come up and hit this high. However, if we do, it is what it is. I'm not going to take a setup just to chase, right? I'm only going to take a setup if it's A+ and it presents itself properly. Advanced Wars Best. I can't get over that name. Does that make sense, what I said about TLT? So we just took sell-side liquidity on the weekly chart. Okay, very important level here. A lot of liquidity was resting below this low. And we have this weekly fair value gap that I'm looking to get tapped into. Once we tap into this is where I'm going to add a lot more longs. I did take a majority of my position off at this internal high right here. But I'm looking to start adding in this general box, preferably in the weekly fair value gap, which has a starting price of 86.60. So once we get a tap into here, that's when I'm going to start looking to take more. Also, the cheaper TLT is, the better the dividend payment is you're going to get. But it basically is based on the underlying assets that TLT purchases, which in this case is 20-year treasury bonds, right? So yeah. Okay, guys, so again, nothing is forming here. If I look at the 3-minute, you can see this 3-minute IFEG failed. There is a secondary one that's forming here after a secondary sweep of liquidity. So to be fair, that doesn't look terrible. But I still would not take this, guys. I'd rather see liquidity get set before looking for anything A+. And obviously I have NQ on watch here, just in case we get some kind of equal highs that form. Because again, always use NQ for equal highs, don't use MNQ. But once we get, so if this is forming low resistance liquidity here, so let's just say like LRLR is what retail traders call like a trend line. So I think what will happen here is we'll probably form the trend line in this general area, consolidate, sweep liquidity, and then we'll get the long setup later in the day. It's also Friday, guys, remember that. So just be a little more cautious about what you take. Friday after Christmas. So super important that you guys are very cautious and selective with what you trade and what you buy. So again, we have this 3-minute IFEG. I told you guys I'm not taking this. Why? Because we never swept sell side. Then we get another sweep of liquidity here. This 3-minute is tiny, but even though it's tiny, it's still more likely to work because we had an internal sweep of liquidity. I still don't like it because I'd rather see hourly sell side get hit first, but it's probably going to be hitting this high next and maybe a rebalance of the 5 and the 3. So if that happens, it is what it is. Again, I'm not interested in chasing a trade. It's not a setup that I would ever take. And that is just a fact. So nothing formed on the 1-minute. You can see here we just swept buy side. Now it's possible we sweep this buy side and this buy side now. But what I'd rather see is an immediate dump here and then get the setup later on in the day. Okay, so you can see immediately after sweeping this buy side, right? Immediately after sweeping it, we got an immediate rejection. Now, doesn't mean it's going to continue, but it's something to note. Okay, when you're looking for more bearish price action, like I'm looking for this low to get swept, I want to see internal highs immediately get rejected, and I like what I'm seeing here because we got a wick and we're immediately rejecting to the downside. Doesn't mean it's going to continue, no, but I'm looking for signals to allow it to continue, or I'm looking for signals that are proving my thesis correct. Once we get this sweep, then guys, I will look for another long, okay? So we'll be very cautious here, but let's say this 1 minute fair value gap inverses to the downside, that should probably take us down to the lows. Now, to be fair, we do have a new week opening gap here, which could act as support to bring us higher, but that's not my interest. Even though it's a new week opening gap and I love using these as support, this is not a time that I would personally. Because we have such obvious sell side below, I believe this is the draw. We're about to enter our macro time too, guys, just a heads up. Yo, what's up, Kay? Good morning, bro. So, Kay, I finally got the new computer. Now, I do have a mic that I just got, guys. You guys should be able to see it, maybe not. Yeah, you can't see it yet. Oh, it's right here, but it's basically just out of reach. I'll figure out a way to put it into the screen later, but the mic, I need a I forget what they're called, but something, it's like an adapter to make it work. But if you guys can hear me properly for now, the audio quality will be a lot better. But the actual computer works so much smoother, so there shouldn't be any more lag or anything. So again, guys, nothing is forming here. We do have this 1 minute FVG. All right, good, K. You guys can hear me okay? So I want to see, basically what I'm expecting to happen here is this new week opening gap to support and bring us up to this internal buy side. But again, we have this obvious hourly sell side right here, and that is my main draw. So once this hits, guys, I'll look for longs. Until then, I'm not going to. But because of what I'm seeing here, this 1 minute fair value or 1 minute order block that's forming after bouncing out of a 1 minute and a new week opening gap tells me we're probably going to the next buy side. But there's no setup for me. There's nothing I can take personally. Yeah, and exactly what Kay is saying. Sorry, guys. I have a camera that's right in front of my chat, so if you see me going like this, it's to read your comments. Actually, you know what I can do? Let me see if I can do something here. 1 second, guys. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. So yeah, Kay is not taking any trades till New Year's. That's great, Kay. I think that's a great idea. Today is the only day I would really consider because it's 2 days after the bank holiday, which was Christmas. Thursday. So another thing, guys, if you ever look for trades the day after a bank holiday, especially if it's on a Monday or a Tuesday, but also can be on a Wednesday like Christmas, the day after a bank holiday is typically terrible price action. So like yesterday, if we go back to the PA, like look at this. This is such bad PA in my opinion. I mean, there were some okay setups that happened, but it's very choppy, very likely to get stopped out on trades here, fake IFEGs, left, right, and center. So you always want to be patient and wait for the day, at least 2 days after a bank holiday to look for trades. So you guys can see again, we just swept this buy side by a tick. I'm gonna label it in black so we don't confuse it with sell side liquidity. If this 1 minute inverses, again, I would never take this for super low, but just know that if this 1 minute bullish for value gap gets disrespected, we should go back to these lows and then potentially go down to sell side. I'm not in the business of catching that because we're super low on the day, guys. We've already moved 400 points. 400 points. Think about how much that is in one day. That's wild. But yeah, I'm basically expecting sell side to get hit, and then I want to see an hourly setup, a 1 minute fair value gap up to this internal buy side right here. Sorry guys, my English is not great today. Woo! Okay, so there is another sweep of this high. Probably going to go up to this now, guys. But again, I'm not in the business of chasing trades. So we're just going to have to watch it pretty much. There was no setup that formed here. There was a tiny 2 minute and 3 minute. And I do like that we swept this internal liquidity here, right, on this candle. But not A+ enough for me with hourly sell side right there. I'm also, obviously, guys, again, paying attention to NQ to see if any equal highs are forming. So far, there's nothing. We do have a bunch of equal highs all the way up here that I'm expecting to hit, though. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. You can't see my screen on NQ. My bad. It's because I have a window set up here. Let me see if I can change this. Properties. All right, never mind. Well, it is what it is, guys. Actually, I can pull it up here. How about that? NQH 2020. Whoops. Go to the NQ chart. NQH 2025. All right, here it is. So now you guys can see all the equal highs up here that are eventually going to get tapped. I would like to see this hourly get swept first and then see the long up to there. But yeah, so we're in the 1050 macro, guys. Probably going to go to this next internal high again. I'm not in the interest of chasing a trade, especially when there's no setup. But I do like the fact, again, that we swept a low that swept a low. Or not a low that swept a low. We swept a low that, yeah, actually we swept this low with this candle. And then we formed the 3 minute IFEG. Again, it wasn't A+, and we only closed all the way up here, but still probably going to come back and rebalance this 5 minute fair value gap, which you can see right here. This 5 minute high should come up and tap, and possibly even the 3 minute as well. But again, there was no A+ setup for me, so I never took it. Hope that makes sense. Guys, make sure you, if you're in here, please like the stream. I don't see how many people have liked it at all or anything like that, but it really helps the algorithms if you do. Also comment, chat with me, and it will help as well. But you guys can see it's super slow PA, even in a macro time. It's a Friday after Christmas. Lower volume, but we did have a huge push down, which is pretty incredible for the day after a bank holiday, or the 2 days after a bank holiday. 400 point move is wild. So guys, obviously watch this internal buy side. Again, I know a lot of you don't believe it, but the stock market runs on an algorithm, in my opinion, and the futures market especially. And it basically is looking to target people's stop losses. So if you can think about this, everybody who's been short the market has their stops above this high, this high, this high, this high, this high, this high. And then if they're really chasing price, they'll have their stop above this high and this high. The first one has already been stopped out. And now we're probably going to come back and balance the second. So at minimum, balance this 5 minute FVG. And then, yeah, potentially go higher. A lot of people have their stop losses above here as well. Okay. So if we're able to inverse this 5-minute fair value gap, I'll look for a long setup up to here today. And that'll be my only setup. Because if this 5-minute inverses, guys, that really signifies to me that that the market has changed structure, at least intraday, and that they're targeting people's stop losses above this high. Let me know if that makes sense. Also, interestingly enough, I showed you guys this weekly fair value gap that we're trading into right now. We are coming to the very top of the weekly fair value gap and rejecting. If we push above it, guys, I mean, it's very likely we're going to go up to this high, but you have to be super careful, especially when we're in a sell program. Don't take anything unless it's A plus. Trust me. There's going to be times where you win when you're chasing price, but over time, you're going to end up taking fat losses. You're going to overtrade, and it ends up being a terrible situation. So. Okay, so we're getting the retracement here, guys. Notice that it's right at the weekly fair value gaps high. Very interesting how that works. So again, guys, I know it's boring, but we're waiting for an obvious setup to form. This is not obvious. And primarily we want liquidity to get swept first. This is why trading is so difficult for most people, is because they cannot sit at a chart and they cannot wait for their objective to get hit before taking a trade. So like, because I'm live streaming, I'm not going to leave the computer, obviously, but what I would do if I wasn't live streaming is literally I would leave the computer, go do something else, and I would set an alert when this low gets swept, and then I would look for a trade. But I will be back, guys, because I am going to use the restroom. But just know that that is what I primarily would do. What the heck? What is going on here? Because it looks like you've exceeded your plan's limits? What? Alright, I have no idea what that's about, but... Okay, so you can see here we're trading back down into the new week opening gap. What I expect from here again, guys, just taking liquidity, that's it. I would like to see the 4-hour and hourly get swept, and then we will look for longs. It is possible that we reverse from here, guys, but I will only take something if it's really A+. And nothing I'm seeing here is A+. Zero. If we sweep this liquidity and get a strong up candle, then, I mean, you can try a scalp up to here, but not something I'm interested in taking. Again, guys, I take 1 to 2 trades maximum a day on this account. I'm honestly trying to strive to take just one trade a day, and that's it. Sometimes it's too good to pass up, and I take 2, but it's so much better, guys, if you're just patient. Just wait for one A+ setup. Okay, so you can see here we've swept this liquidity now. If we bounce from here and we inverse this 2, I mean, this wouldn't be half bad either. But again, I think the ultimate draw is the sell side, so. Okay, very nice push down here, guys. So if this 2-minute / 1-minute fair value gap inverses to the downside, we should expect this sell side to get swept. Again, doesn't mean I'm taking the trade. I'd rather see the buy side liquidity reversal. But if it does inverse to the downside, which we still have not closed below yet, if it does, then that will be a pretty nice, should be a decent short down. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. So we did just sweep liquidity here on the 2. If this inverses to the upside, honestly not the worst long setup, but again, guys, I'd rather see this liquidity get swept first before taking any trades. Let's look at some other charts here quick. How is everything doing? Tesla down. Oh, wow. I saw 19. I was like, holy crap. Down $19 on the day. Very, very bearish for Tesla on the short term. Down 4%. Let's look at some of the other stocks here that I'm looking at. 20% increase in the VIX today. Wow. Very interesting. Whew, big push down on Riot, guys. So I might be looking to add Riot again. If we can dump down into this volume imbalance on the daily, this is something I'm really excited about, to add a secondary position on Riot. And phase down. Okay, so this is actually a place that I actually like to see. I would like to see longs form in here. In this daily fair value gap right here, I would love to see a buy program within here. So we'll see what happens. Ulta obviously is pushing like crazy. We've added this in the Discord too many times. A lot of people are banking on this. Disney, okay, this I actually like for the long-term swing. If we can get down into this daily volume imbalance, I'll be looking to add Disney on this. So we shall see if we get it. I'm going to put my alert back down here on Disney. So if we can get Disney back down to 108, guys, I will be looking to take longs. And my ultimate target for Disney will be that 126 level. I will alert that in the Discord, obviously. And there's a few other stocks, guys, that I'm really liking in this area. I'm not going to tell you guys which ones they are on live stream. But there's a few other stocks that I'm looking to add for the long term and for swing trades that are really screaming a good setup. So once those happen, you guys will get an alert, obviously. Oh, you know why I'm getting these alerts, guys? I think it's because I have TradingView up on one of my other computers. That's probably why. All right. Anyone? Okay, guys, so while we're waiting for sell side to get taken, if there's people in here that aren't bots, tell me what trades you guys have taken today, and I will analyze them for you. I'll tell you if they were good, bad, why or why not. All right. What should I do here? Trying to figure out a way to get this mic set up properly on my computer. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to shift my computer over, or my desk over later, but we'll do that after for next stream. Okay, guys, so if this 2-minute, we swept liquidity here intraday. If this 2-minute inverses, if you guys want to try this, I would give it probably a 6 out of 10. This 1-minute inverse, or 2-minute inverse. Again, stop would have to be a close back below, and then your take profit would be this internal buy side. It may work, but the fact, again, that we have this obvious draw of liquidity down here, I'd much rather just be patient, wait for it to get swept, and then look for a setup afterwards. If you guys just be patient, guys, I promise you it will benefit you so much in the long term. So much. Okay, very nice. Very nice push into the 2 minute. Let me look at the 3 and see if there's anything. There's a tiny 3. Ideally, you'd want to see them both close above at the same time. This 3 minute candle closes at 112, so we've got wow, I got a lot of stuff going on here. How do I get rid of some of this? Remove widget, edit widget. All right, sorry guys. So if this 3 minute inverses and the 2 minute at the same time after sweeping liquidity bouncing out of a new week opening gap, I don't think this is a bad setup. But again, what I'm hoping to see here is that the 3 minute rejects at this level and we take out sell side and then we get the long setup later. That's my main hope, guys. Another good ad. Actually, I'm going to keep this to myself. Never mind. Forget what I said there, guys. I'm saving that for the people that are paying in my premium. They do not deserve to have all of the secrets leaked. Okay, guys, so immediate rejection from the 3 here. You can see this to me looks like we're going to dump the sell side now. Doesn't mean I'm going to short because obviously we are so low, but it doesn't look bad. It really doesn't look bad. We have a 3 minute inverse here that's closing below. Again, this closes at 11:15, so we've got basically 25, 30 seconds. If it does, then I would target this internal sell side and then this low. Again, I'm not taking this short because we are heavily in discount right now. It's not worth it to me. If you look on the daily, though, we are rejecting from the new week opening gap here. It is possible, too, guys, that even this low is next. Definitely possible. So be aware. We could rebalance a lot of this, and then we could get the reversal up. You just have to be super cautious here. Super cautious. Guys, also please make sure you like the stream. It helps a lot with the algorithm. And make sure you chat too. Helps a lot too. So you guys can see here too, we did close below the 3-minute fair value gap. So again, what would I expect? I would expect this to act as rejection to take us down to sell side again. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, obviously, but it's possible. So decent looking 1 minute here. Decent. But nothing I would take, guys. If the 3-minute closes above, I think it's, again, decent. Not really A+. I want liquidity swept first. Yeah, so just be patient, guys. I'm telling you right now. How's ES doing right now? Let's pull up ES. ESH 2025. Oh, is there an SMT going on right now? No, not really. But guys, once this liquidity gets swept, I'm telling you, there should be a great setup that forms, so be patient. Okay, pretty nice push here, guys, from that new week opening gap. Still holding. Again, if the 3-minute closes above and the 2-minute, it's not a bad setup. Again, I wouldn't consider it A+, but I think what's happening here is we're rebalancing the 2 to drop lower. Once the liquidity gets swept, guys, just be patient. That is when a long setup should form. Let's look at other stuff here. Service now with a huge dump. CrowdStrike, pretty big dump. Nike with a pretty big dump too. Okay, still nothing, guys. Wow, huge volume on Moderna. That's interesting. But that was on the daily. If I zoom out, it becomes smaller. Okay, it's not as big as I thought. So there's actually a lot of good, I think these are all nuclear, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check the, this is natural gas and energy. I think they're doing a lot of nuclear investment. I'll have to double check, guys, in some of these swings, but there's a few potential nuclear energy plays that I think might be good for the future. Coming down into their weekly and monthly FEGs. Man. Okay, so pretty big push here, guys. Also, again, holding the new week opening gap. So if the 3-minute closes above here, guys, this should be a good long back up to this internal buy side. What do you guys think? Should we try it as our one trade on the day? Be done with one MNQ? What do you guys think? Is it worth the shot? I think I'm going to try it, guys. If we get the close above, obviously. We have a minute left, so. Did we just form equal highs here, guys? Oh, and we formed equal highs on the 1 minute on NQ. So maybe we get a rejection and then we go. We'll see what happens here. But we did just form equal highs right here, guys, on NQ and MNQ. If we get a rejection here, then maybe we'll get the setup for later on today. But I'm not a huge fan of taking this long. Okay, so we did just inverse all the fair value gaps, so in theory it should work, but again, guys, it's not screaming bye to me. Even though it's probably gonna work, I'm gonna be patient and wait for an A+ setup, right? I'm not just gonna take anything. The equal highs did not get swept just yet. They got tapped into. I'm just looking at NQ to make sure. Okay, so the equal highs just got swept. Now what's probably going to happen next is we hit buy side here, and then we hit buy side here. Again, just because of the nature of this PA and the obvious hourly sell side, I'm not taking this. But just know that it's very likely to work. It's just not likely enough for me to risk real money with it. Okay, guys, I'm waiting for hourly sell side. Once this gets swept, that is when I will look for reversals. If I was not live streaming right now, I would basically just set an alert here and then I would take it later when I got the alert. Okay, so beautiful push above this internal buy side. Now, again, guys, it's very likely that the 5 minute. Oh, we just got a 5 minute push here, too. Oh, this looks so good, guys. Should I scalp this real quick? It's too high up to scalp, but this 5 minutes getting hit right now. If this 5 minute gets inverse, guys, I will try the long, though. Okay, so we'll see how we react in this 5 minute fair value gap. Because if it's a bullish reaction, guys, when we close above, then this buy side is coming next. There's not really any fair value gaps. There is some on the 2 minute. Check the 1 minute. Yeah, I'm guessing that... Ooh, wait, are these triple equal highs here on NQ? Oh, guys. We do have triple equal highs right here. This is, I think, probably going to be the draw right now. I didn't even see that. Damn. But yeah, guys, technically we just rebalanced this 5 minute. I mean, we inversed the 5 minute IFEG, but look where the close was. So can we take this? No. But there are equal highs here, and they are probably going to hit. Unfortunately, there's no trade that I can take. The reason being, we have all these 1 minutes as well here. So if the 5 minute closes above, guys, and we get a retracement, I'll try and take it long. But apart from that, no trade for me. So we are forming a potential 1 minute OB here. Again, these are probably the target now, this and this. Where did this 50% fib come from? It's from the daily. That's the daily fib. Whoa, Command C. Okay, so now we have a 1 minute OB as well, guys. Wouldn't be surprised if this works to the equal highs. It really would not. Again, it's nothing I would take personally, but I don't think it's a bad setup. We did just balance the 3, so we have a 3 minute fair value gap here as well that we just touched into. So totally possible that this is the high and then we dump, but I would not be surprised to see this go much higher here to the equal highs. If you guys really want to try a setup, you can take along here with your stop loss below the order block. Again, not my model, so I wouldn't take it, but if you guys want to, you can. But you guys can see here that we did sweep below. We got a market structure shift to the upside. And again, this is probably going up to both of these buy sides. If the 3 minute and the 5 minute inverse at the same time up here, I will try the long. We can take a partial up here and then we can leave it up to this high. We'll see what we get though. So guys, with one micro contract on this account, which is what I am trying to trade with for this funded, as I'm trying to get it to 52.6. If the 1 minute and the 3 minute and the 5 minute inverse, then I think this will be a decent long. But again, once the entry forms up here, it's probably too late. So this was the real setup here, right? I didn't see the 5 minute. But we technically just inverse the 5, and this should drive us up to these equal highs. We also inverse the 3, but again, I was waiting for the 5, so this was not an entry for me. However, if you did take this, your stop should be at break even once this high hit. Partial in here, and leave your runners up to these two sets of equal highs and the buy side liquidity. So right now there is no entry for me, unfortunately, but we'll see what we get. We are also about to enter a macro time, the 11:50 macro. So yeah, we'll see what happens with price delivery. Now there is a change in market structure on these lower time frames, right? We went from making lower highs to now making a higher high, right here. ES, not really any SMTs. They both made the same shifts here. But the higher time frames obviously are still bearish, so you have to keep that in mind. Doesn't mean we can't come back out to balance the equal highs, but just be aware that we could be just in an intraday sell program, and so you have to be super selective about what you're longing. Ultimately, guys, again, I want this sell side liquidity to get swept from the hourly chart. You guys can see it right here. This wick is a draw, so everyone that's long the markets right now has a stop below this wick's low. So I'd like to see that get traded into to then go back up to the upside and eventually rebalance all the highs. But until that happens, there's nothing I can do. So we have the 1 minute OB here, this down close candle. You can see we're trading into the mean threshold of the order block. And now we are pushing, so this could just be the support that drives us up to the equal highs. But yeah, I can't take it right now, unfortunately. But once the inverse happens on the 3 and the 5, I will take it as a scalp up to the equal highs and then hold runners up to buy side. What can also happen here, guys, is we trade back down into this 5-minute FEG to then go higher. So this order block doesn't have to be an order block just yet. We could trade lower and then close above it. You guys can try the long from there if you want, up to equal highs. I personally like to wait for the model, which is the 5-minute fair value gap closing above. Man, this is so boring. But guys, you really should know trading is boring. If trading is exciting for you, you're doing something wrong. You guys, I've been sitting here for like 3 hours waiting for a setup and nothing has formed yet. Being patient. I have an eyelash stuck in my eye. Again, guys, I'm allowing a trade into the 5, and that's when I want to see a bullish reaction here. If we do, and we form an OB on the 5-minute, that's a decent long, in my opinion, up to equal highs. If you want to get an early entry, then that is your entry. I personally would like to wait for the 5-minute close back above to take this long. Also, if we can balance this 5-minute fair value gap right here, right? This is the fair value gap. We can balance it, meaning trade it into it slightly, maybe test the top of the OB, which we're kind of doing right now. Then get the bullish 5-minute order block. That's another great entry. But I'm basically allowing for the trade into this to then push us higher. And guys, if it doesn't make sense, if what I'm saying to you guys is gibberish, there's one of two reasons for that. Number one is that you don't understand ICT concepts at all, or you need to practice them. So I'm happy to explain if you guys need explaining, but just let me know in the comments. Just chat me. Okay, pay attention to this 5-minute candle, guys. We should retrade back down into this. There we go. So there's the fair value gap. Now we really want to see a very strong bullish reaction from the top of the 5 here. We don't want to see it really reject here. And that's going to should bring us up to the equal highs above. So if we can get a 5-minute close back above these 3 down close candles, forming a 5-minute, basically like a triple order block here, that's a good long entry, in my opinion, up to the equal highs. So we'll see how the market reacts on the 1. So far no reaction from the 5 just yet. But you guys can see the order block here on the 1 minute that we're basically reacting out of here. Tristan, one of the Top Step TV guys is down 10K. Whoa. On a day trade? Obviously, if it's Top Step. Woo! Is it, I don't know if is Patrick Whelan part of Top Step? I forget if that might be the guy you're talking about. Tristan, how was your Christmas, bro? He was up 12K before Christmas. Wait, is it Patrick Whelan? Nah, PW uses Apex. Oh, Patrick uses Apex. What's the name of the trader, Tristan? By the way, I got finally my new computer arrived, so there's no lag. Finally, the RAM is fixed. Thank goodness. But guys, I want to see, again, a bullish reaction out of this IFEG to take us up to these equal highs. If the 5-minute inverses, obviously, we should take out the hourly sell side. That's my primary objective. And then once that happens, we can look for a trade. My guess is that if we're going to get the setup today, it's going to be in the afternoon session. We'll have to see what we get. Dakota, I'm not sure really who he is. I don't know if I've heard of a Dakota trader. How do you find these dudes, Tristan? This, like, you just scroll through YouTube and they pop up on your feed? I'm done trading, just building the Lego sets. Let's go, bro. The Lego sets. Bro, I love Legos. Okay, guys, so look, no respect to this 5-minute fair value gap. You guys can see it right here. I mean, there is a chance that we touch the bottom of it and we get the bullish reaction we're looking for. Top Step TV, you guys suck at trading, so I watch to see how much they can lose. Bro, the counties usually listen, but the rest of them are absolute cheeks. Well, bro, there might be a good inverse indicator. Maybe I should keep them up on my feed. Okay, so guys, look at this 5-minute close. Not bullish at all. However, we are still holding this. So if you guys remember, actually, I took a 5-minute IFEG a while back ago. I believe it was last week. And we closed right at the bottom of the 5. We wicked down, and then it got saved, and we targeted the buy side. So this could be the same setup happening here. It's a little bit different structure-wise. Obviously, I didn't take this 5-minute because of that sole reason. So I don't think it's going to behave the same way, but we do have a macro coming up at 11:50, so we'll see what happens then. But my guess, guys, is that we're going to get some kind of a setup up to these equal highs at some point today. Ideally, it's going to be after liquidity is swept. Have a holly jolly Christmas. So guys, again, I got the new computer. I do have a new mic. I know you guys can't see it. Here's the little the thingy for it. You can't see the mic because it's kind of off to my side of my screen, but I'm getting an adapter for it today. Since I have a Mac, it only has USB. I need to get a USB-C adapter, and then we should get even better quality. We should get better quality sound. Yeah, Tristan, I'm using my one of my iPhones for the camera right now because I got a Mac Mini. But I need, if you guys have recommendations for good cameras or like, you know, those desktop little things you can order on Amazon that are cameras. If you guys have good recommendations for that, I need something because I'm not going to be using my phone forever. But let me know if you guys have any good camera recommendations. I don't care if it's just a regular camera or if it's like one of those special desktop cameras you attach to your monitors, but let me know. Man, this is so boring, guys. Let me look at the 1 minute quick. Yeah, guys, literally nothing. Like, none of this is good PA. 3 minute. Oh, hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Gotta bring this dog in. Because I got my cleaning lady here and she loves to bark. Say hi, Lulu. Say hi. Oh, look at that good girl. Yes, yes, Lulu. You gonna trade with me? Look at this thing. Oh. She's a little wiggly. You okay, Lulu? You okay, Lulu? Alright, I'm gonna put her to the side here. Okay. So, again, guys, hourly draw. Oh my god. Hey, shh. Shush. Shush, Lou. Sit. Alright, so obviously the draw here is the hourly sell side, guys. We are in a sell program here. Sit. Alright. Of course, bro. I gotta have the cleaning lady. But hopefully we get the Tesla bots soon, bro. Hey, Lulu. Oh, Nike is coming down, guys. Okay, so the 5 minute looks like it's inversing here after taking out this 5 minute FEG. I'm guessing this is going to take us down to sell side now. So guys, if we get, did we form any equal highs on NQ? No. If we get a big dump here down to sell side on the hourly, then we get a setup. An IFEG, I'm going to take it back long. So this looks, I mean, this looks really good for shorts. I'm not going to lie. But yeah. Tristan says, takes me back to the younger days, waking up on Saturday, hearing my mom blasting music, now it's going to work. Bro, I know, I feel the days. I have PTSD from that, which is why we have a cleaning lady. Alright, let me let my dog out. She's tweaking. Hold on, guys. No barking. Oh my god. Oh, my life, bro, my life. My dog. Alright, so very strong bearish push here. This looks like we're going to be going down the south side, guys. Tristan knows the days, bro, when mom woke you up in the, on a Saturday morning blasting music. It was time to work, or you were put to work. And you just want to lay in bed. Oh, I know the feeling. I know the feeling, bro. Okay. Oh, this bloody dog, bro. So we have internal sell side here that should get swept now, guys. And then I think sell side is coming. There was no close below this 5-minute FEG. If you guys can see, we held it perfectly. Let me check NQ real quick. 1 second, guys. Yeah, even NQ, we never closed below it. So, but I still think the sell side is coming now. And I will switch over to the 1-minute chart because now that we've delivered all this PA, I'm looking for a 1-minute inverse. Move all the happy shit, rearrange the living room, Vietnam. Are you Vietnamese, Tristan? Or are you saying like, like it was a war zone? Who's gonna carry the boats, bro? Your mom needs you to carry the boats on Saturday morning. Wow, I'm getting so many spam texts. UPS delivery team. Our staff was unable to deliver your package on time. Oh my god, this dog. Who's going to carry the couch? Yeah, it was a war zone, bro. And like when your mom wakes up looking for violence, like she wants violence that morning. Oh, you gotta be careful. She's in a bad mood. Woo! Okay, guys, so big dump here. Let's take a look at the Mag 7. How's Tesla doing now? Tesla pretty much stable, dropping $20 on the day, give or take. The calls that I sold, guys, are up big time on Tesla. So that's the thing I love. Once you get an asset like Tesla that I have down in the 200s, as long as we don't have massive pushes, which I wait for the massive push and then I sell calls against my position, I just collect rent. Like I'm collecting a few $1,000s every single month just off of selling calls, and then another few thousand off of selling puts. It's crazy. Like once you have a paying asset that you've caught the lows on, I have quite a few of these, but Tesla being one of them, like it's just free money. I know that Tesla's going to go up in the future, at minimum $2 trillion market cap, which puts us at around $600 a share, give or take. And until then, I'm just collecting monthly premium. So it's beautiful. Okay, guys, so we did just sweep sell side. I think we're going to sweep these two now. And then if we get this 2-minute to inverse, so we just formed this 2-minute. It's a new week opening gap as well in that same area. If this inverses, I think this is going to be a great long. Stop to break even at this internal buy side, and then we're going to hold all the way up to the equal highs. That will be my trade for today. Using one MNQ contract, maybe I'll do two, for a possible $700. That's wild. Do you guys understand what kind of a move we had today? We had a 400-point dump. Like, I don't think you guys understand how strong that is. 400 points. And so just with one MNQ contract, you can make a very good amount of money. Like an MNQ contract becomes an NQ contract. So that's why I'm hesitating to take more than one on this funded account. But we'll see what we get. If it's so convincing, I'll take 2 contracts and risk it. But until then, guys, nothing. Let me look at the 3. Let's look at the 5. If this 5-minute inverses 2, guys, that's going to be a beautiful setup up to here. I'm telling you right now. So I'm going to start recording this. See how this works. Okay, so it still looks pretty good. I'm not used to my computer behaving so smoothly. So when I click on buttons, I'm expecting it to lag, but it's not. I'm just so excited about that. So technically, guys, we did just sweep sell side right here. So if we do get the inverse, this is not bad. I would prefer, again, the hourly sell side to get swept first, right here. But if this 2-minute inverses, you can try the long stop to break even at the high and then take a partial here and then hold to the equal highs. Because there are definitely scenarios where we sweep internal sell side, push up, and then we come back down later. So let's see what we get here on the 2. So if we close back above here on the 2, guys, I will take this with a contract. Stop loss, wow, $71 on one MNQ. That's wild. Stop to break even at this high, and I'll just hold it. Close happens in little under a minute here. So no close above yet, guys. See how the 2-minute candle finishes here. Okay, guys, no close above, so no trade. What I would love to see, guys, love to see this sell side get swept and then the inverse long. If that happens, guys, I'll go a lot heavier, I think. Depends what structure forms, obviously, but yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to open up something here. I'm going to look at some previous sell days in the market and see if there's anything I see that's similar to today. Oh, 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 do, 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here, guys, but I think we're probably going to go down. Definitely a tough day. Whew. But let's see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if this just is forming LRLR to just dump here. Tristan. What extra pieces, bro? Yeah, guys, I think I've decided I'm not going to take this 2-minute inverse. I'd rather see liquidity get swept first. Bro, gaslighting me. What extra pieces are in your set, bro? Did you ever use Bionicles, Tristan? Do you remember Bionicles? There was Legos and then Bionicles. I think it was also Bilego, if I'm not mistaken. I used to have those Bionicles and build those up too. They were fun. Oh, the Bionicles, bro. You know the Bionicles. I used to be a Yu-Gi-Oh card trader. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh when I was in like 5th grade. Had the Bionicles, had the Legos, had the Do you know what mighty beans are, Tristan? Did you ever hear about mighty beans? Bro, I had a huge collection of mighty beans. I honestly might still have them. I really might, somewhere in my I have like a closet where I keep all the games and stuff, the board games. I probably have some. I sold a kid a fake Yu-Gi-Oh card. What was it? One of the what were those things called? Um, oh, Egyptian god cards. Do you remember the Egyptian god cards? There were 3 of them. Obelisk, the Tormentor, Slifer, the Sky Dragon, and damn, I forgot the other one. Winged Dragon of Ra. There were 3 of them that everyone wanted. And then there were the what was that dude called? What was that dude called that that Yugi had? That like pharaoh looking thing with he had like 6 body parts and you had to connect them. Wow, I'm so happy with the smoothness of this. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I'm recording, streaming all at the same time. Discord running. Damn, bro, what was his name? Okay, I'm gonna find this out right now. Oh, Exodia, that was what it was. Left arm, right arm. Yeah, Exodia, that was the name. God damn, guys, when is this gonna frickin' inverse? I don't know if I'm gonna take it because I want the hourly sell side swept first, but we'll see when if it happens in a macro, I'll consider it. But if it doesn't happen in the macro time, I'll wait for sell side first. What I'm going to guess happens here, guys, just based on a few different things, is I think we're going to form LRLR here. We'll probably chop around in this general zone and then dump. Let me look at the 1 minute quick. I mean, technically, we are about to inverse this one. I don't know if we already did. Not quite yet. My guess is this holds. We take out this buy side, then we go down. I don't know. There's so many options here, but I'd rather just see this swept and then look for longs. Tristan, did you take a setup today? I forgot what you said. Do. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I took a break from streaming because of my whole computer thing, and it was Christmas, and the algorithms are screwing me. Like I haven't gotten any. Very few people are coming into chat, and the ones that do normally come in, like K and a few other ones, they're not even trading because it's the new year, so they're waiting until the new year. Off first presentation FEG. Always the presentation FEG. I don't even remember where ICT talked about that on the mentorships, but hey, bro, if it works, it works. If it works, it works. Was it the 2024 mentorship? Interesting. I didn't watch the 2024. That's probably why. I watched the 2022, and that was the only one. I secured the payout site locked up. Let's go, bro. Okay, why is my Thinkorswim not loading here, bro? Yeah, bro. God damn it, what is going on? Okay, like this rejection, guys. Go from payout secure to 5 blown accounts in an hour. Yeah, bro, you gotta be so careful. All right, so I'm looking at. I want to show you guys what I'm seeing here. So we're on NQ right now. We're about to trade into a new week opening gap. We have sell side liquidity. So one of two things I see happening here. Number one is we come very close to sell side and we get an inverse long, or we sweep sell side and we get an inverse long. If we don't get either of those, then I'm going to be off the charts. But I still do think that there is hope for a nice long setup in the afternoon session. So yeah, we'll see if we get it in a macro time or not. I doubt it because the next macro time is at 12:50 if I'm not mistaken, or the 13:10. Sorry. So we'll see what we get. Now we could also create a nice inverse here and then take another long scalp, but we'll see what happens here. Like this looks pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Looks pretty good, but I don't know if I can take it, unfortunately. Because we have more sell side here and sell side here. We inverse to 1 minute. But this, honestly, this scalp up to internal buy side doesn't look bad. I'm not going to take it, guys, because my draw is lower. But up to you what you want. So guys, this should work to the upside if we close above the 1 minute. But again, I'm not taking that. I really need to see something else happen. So no close above yet, but these two highs should get swept. Hopefully this high gets swept as well, but we'll see. I'm looking at NQ to see if any equal highs have formed. There's absolutely nothing. So yeah, we're going to be patient here. Oh, I just got a holiday update from Thinkorswim that they now have the extended hours trading sessions. Okay, guys, so again, no close above the 1 minute. We're waiting for sell side, and then we'll look for longs. So they're changing how the market trades, right? They're gonna be, it's gonna be like 23-hour trading if I'm not mistaken. So they're having me sign all these disclosures. So give me a second, guys. God, this is so slow. So again, once sell side liquidity gets swept, guys, we're going to look for a 1 minute IFEG and take out the equal highs up here today, hopefully. That's what I envision happening, that we get a reversal from there. All right, guys, so you can see all the LRLR, the low resistance liquidity, or LRLR, forming right here. It's like a trend line, right? So what I would expect to see is to continue until we take out liquidity. Then we get a nice IFEG setup, maybe something like this. So we keep going up, boom, 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 boom. IFEG setup, trade back into it, and reversal. That's what I'm looking for today. So you guys see how I can even visualize what I'm looking for before it happens. And let's see if we actually get something like this. But this is what I would like to see happen to get the long setup. IFEG somewhere like right here. Close above it, trade back into it, long setup back to the upside, and then ultimately we will target the equal highs up here. That's what I'd like to see for the PM session. And if you guys don't understand any of the terminology I'm using, whether it be LRLR, fair value gaps, trend lines, which you should know if you're even looking at an NQ futures day trading live stream, just send me something in the chat. I'm happy to answer. Okay. So again, slow but steady. This is where I'm looking for a setup, guys. How's my stream? Is it lagging at all, guys, or is it good? All right, good. Okay, let me take a look at, I want us to take a look at end phase quick. Give me 1 second, guys. This is a swing trade I'm looking at. Where is end phase on my screen? Here it is. Look at the daily chart. Okay, so we didn't quite trade into the daily FEG that I want, but this is where I'm looking to potentially get longs on end phase. Okay, guys, we're finally getting a potential sweep here. Now, if this low gets swept first, guys, and then we get the IFEG, that's okay too. It just has to be a really clean looking IFEG for me to take it. Excuse me. So far, we're still just forming all that LRLR like I told you guys we probably would. And then we should get the IFEG set up if it's going to happen. Again, guys, if it doesn't happen, we could be in a further sell program and we might go lower. But I like the fact that we'll be trading into this. What is this? This wick is not real. Is that my drawing? What the heck is? Oh, it's that. So I'm looking, guys, for this to sweep this low. And then, yeah, but we also have to pay attention to this daily wick. So this wick's acts as void. So we could potentially get a setup from this 50% level and then you weak opening gap here. So there's a volume imbalance down here as well. Bro, I was like, what the hell? That is not a real wick. But yeah, you guys, basically I want to see this happen. This wick that you see here, which is just my line, I want to see a sweep, trade into the 4 hour, and then a potential intraday reversal. So we did just sweep this low, right? But there's no good fair value gaps for me to take. I'd rather see, so like, I'm basically trying to imagine if I was a market maker, what would I try and do here to create more liquidity before going higher? I'd want to create some kind of a big down move to get people to enter into the market shorts and then get the long setup. So like this tiny 1 minute here, it's not good enough for me to take this. I will have to let the market go without me. I'd rather just see this dump and then get a breakout above the LRLR to then start entering longs. First TP here, second TP here, and third TP is at equal highs. You can also partial here if you want, up to you. But I basically want to see this LRLR form, manipulation move down, reversal. Let's take a look at ES. So everything's making lower highs. I want to see, where is ES's sell side? Okay, so also what we can potentially get here is a, okay, first of all, let me move this down. Hold on, guys. We could potentially see an SMT with ES. So if ES does not sweep this low, or vice versa, if NQ sweeps its low, or it does not, and then ES does. If one of them does and one doesn't, that'll be even more of a signal for me to go short. I mean, to go long. So far, it looks like ES is the stronger of the two, so this will be the one that might not take its low, while NQ does. So we'll see. Patience, guys, patience. See, I love live streaming to help people and teach, but if I was not live streaming right now, guys, again, I've said this in the stream before, I would just set an alert. When this low gets taken, I'd jump back to my computer and wait for the setup. But until then, like, this is just, it's a waste. Unless you guys have questions and stuff. I mean, it's good for me to explain, obviously, what I see on the charts. But, like, really need to see, we'd really just rather just sit out. Once you guys have good enough understanding of market structure, you guys can just wait for liquidity and set alerts at liquidity and then look for reversals. Saves you a lot of time, a lot of FOMO. So. Oh, lame, lame, lame. So again, guys, all is LRLR. Notice how algorithmically we follow this trend line. In theory, if we break above this, guys, we should see a long setup form, but not A plus to me. I want to see this liquidity get swept first, and then the long setup to form. So if this 1 minute closes above, guys, I mean, in theory, you can scalp up to this high and this high, but it does look good. I'm not gonna lie. Let me look at the 3. Nothing. 4, 5. Really would like to see this 1 minute FEG hold price down to deliver us lower and then get the long. And I think we just formed equal highs. We did. We did indeed. All right. So we just formed equal highs right here on NQ. I know on MNQ it traded above, but on NQ they're equal. Oh no, they're not. They're not, guys. Never mind. I zoomed in and they are not equal. We took them by a tick. So again, guys, want to see consolidation, manipulation, IFEG to take us higher. That is my goal. And I think what I'll do to end the stream early, because we've been on for a long time, I'll take a partial at this high, and then I'll move my stop to break even and hold runners up to this internal buy side and equal highs if we get them. And then we will just let the stream sit. And then obviously if something changes, I will alert you guys in the Discord. But for those of you who are not on the Discord, you would basically just move your stop to break even and hope for the best. Comment on TLT again. Advanced Warfare's Bets, which is one of my friends named Ralph in real life. Ralph, give me a more detailed question, bro. What do you want me to comment on? Because I already commented on what I thought would happen with it. Okay, so we're getting a big push higher here. Close above this IFEG, guys, would be a decent long, I'm not going to lie. I would probably target the new week opening gap if I had to take a trade. But again, guys, I'm not going to take this. I will wait for liquidity to get swept before I take anything. I guess you talk about A+++ trades. I get the entries, but it's at its current rate, it's already close to 52-week lows. How to know when to wait, or it's already a fair good deal? Well, I mean, buying TLT, guys, if you understand TLT, then you will understand that this is generally a good spot to add for the long term. If you understand economics, interest rates, Fed policy, but if you don't, and you're relying purely on technicals, then you also want to understand ICT concepts. So, if we look at TLT on the monthly, you can see here that we're trading close to 52-week lows. I mean, we are at 52-week lows, but close to all-time lows even. But the reason I like this so much is because the Fed is going to will potentially have to start cutting rates, especially when Trump is in office and putting pressure on them to do so. And then we're sweeping a low that formed in April of 2024, and we're potentially balancing the weekly fair value gap. So this area is where I want long-term ads for TLT, locking in the best yield, the best dividend on TLT currently. And then I will ultimately target 109 and 120. And that is where I will probably take the majority of my position off. And then I will leave the rest to potentially push higher, though I don't know if that will happen. I think probably the ultimate draw for TLT is going to be this fair value gap. That's where I probably lock in the rest of my profits at this bearish OB. So this is around $133. That's where I think I would take most of my position off. And yeah, TLT, it can be risky because if the Fed doesn't end up cutting rates more, then this could just stall for years. But yeah. Wow, guys, so we closed above here. Again, I'm not going to take this, guys. I told you I would wait for liquidity to get swept. Though we did sweep low of day, this will probably take us back up to buy side now. But again, I'd rather see this get swept first, and that is when I will take the long. Otherwise, guys, I am just going to sit it out. So, Ralph, I hope that makes sense to you, bro. If you have any other questions, let me know. Again, I don't see, I'm on Streamlabs, so I don't see if you guys like react with emojis or anything. Just give me a comment to let me know that you understand what I'm saying. All right, Ralph, good, bro. You got it, especially Ralph, if you're not so confident with the economic policies, which is why most long-term traders are buying TLT. Definitely get to know ICT and know when you're going to be able to stop out your trade. Like for me, if we close below the weekly fair value gap, I will probably exit the position, or maybe I'd give it until the body of this candle. So if we get a weekly close below 83, I'd probably close the position out, and I'd wait for a re-entry. And the re-entry for me would be an inverse fair value gap setup on the monthly, which would probably form somewhere here. So like if we close below this and then we inverse the monthly fair value gap, that's when I would re-enter longs. Because at some point it's going to go higher. The question is, how much lower are we going to go before? And I'd rather not just sit and basically pray. I'd rather wait for confirmation, which would be a monthly close back above the fair value gap. So like if we came down like this and then closed above, this would be the long. So I will alert everyone in the Discord, obviously, if and when I decide to close out TLT, if I ever do. But you guys will know that, obviously. Okay, so it looks like we are potentially coming back to retest the trend line to go higher here. But again, not a position for me to be entering the longs. I want sell-side liquidity first, and then I want an IFEG. If we don't get it, we don't get it. Do 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 do. Okay, so this is pretty much, guys, going to push up here. Nothing good, though. That is so unfortunate. You can see this woman at inverse did work, guys. And now if we get a short here, that wouldn't be too bad. Like if we get like a woman at IFEG in here, or like if we close below both of these, that won't be a bad short down to sell side. But you can see here how the trend line broke. We inversed this 1 minute and it did work. But again, sometimes this does not work. It's not a plus to me, so I'm not taking it personally. Man, guys, what a boring day. Ugh. The more and more I day trade, the more and more boring it gets. Because I sit and I wait for the A+ setups, and a lot of the times that means that you're not really taking any trades during the day. So my main objective with this is to teach. But of course, if an A+ setup comes, I will alert you guys. Red flag alert, red flag alert. And that is when I take the setups. And that is why I'm profitable, is because I sit and I wait. I don't just take anything because, even though this was tempting to take because I was sitting at the chart all day, I did not. And you can see here actually that you technically would have been stopped out of the trade because we closed above, let me label this. We closed above the fair value gap and then we closed below it. And so you would have been stopped out if you trade my model. So. But really, guys, there's nothing here. What will probably happen, if I had to guess, is that we will come back and balance this little 5-minute right here. And then go lower again. But yeah. If my stomach hurts, I short because that means something will be dropping. Oh my god. Okay, so what I would suggest, guys, here is just pay attention to how PA behaves. We could reject from the new week opening gap if we're super bearish and go lower, but I'm guessing that we'll trade back into this 5-minute FEG first. Could be wrong, could be right, could care less. Again, guys, my only objective today is a sweep of liquidity to then inverse to the upside. I'm also really hungry, but I don't know if I have any good food to make, so we'll see. Ooh, hold on 1 second, guys. Let me... Wait, what?